back to my channel. My name is MJ, and today I wanted to talk about doing RunDisney through a charity. There are some benefits and detriments of sorts to running through a charity. I've had the experience of working with 3 different charities, so I wanted to share some of that experience in case anybody is interested in doing so for future race weekends, just to talk about my experience personally. So the first time I got to run with a charity was Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So I worked with them for the virtual 2021, I think Princess Weekend. Yes, 2021. And so I really enjoyed working with them. Originally, it was not going to be virtual. It was supposed to be in person. And I missed the registration by like a couple hours. So originally I was just doing a fundraising base goal. I didn't have a race that I was going towards. It was just like fundraising for them. And then once it became virtual, they decided that they were going to lower their fundraising goal. And they also had some people who decided to drop from it, who decided they no longer wanted to be a part of it, as it was a virtual, it was no longer an in-person race. So they opened it up and said, okay, we have actually extra bibs. If anybody would like to up their amount, they can change to a different race or a challenge or whatever it was. And since I was just on the fundraising base, I was like, yes, I'd like to change it to the 5K. So I did the 5K through Children's Miracle Network Hospital, and then I did the challenge, the 10K and the half, both virtually through RunDisney. Now, because I was a little worried. I guess not worried. I was just wondering how they're going to send the medals and stuff, since I was doing it through a charity and through RunDisney. But all of it came in one box, which was really nice. I know that that's been different for other race weekends when they've had virtual. It hasn't all come in one box. So at least for that Princess Weekend, everything did, which was really nice. And then the second charity I've worked with, I don't necessarily want to say their name, as I did not have the best experience with them. It was still okay, but it wasn't what I would have loved. But I know other people have had spectacular experiences with them. So I don't want to name them just in case somebody else does have a great experience with them, like signing up with them now, because there was still parts of it that was enjoyable. I just found that they had a lack of communication for my part. Or not for me personally, I didn't love the lack of communication from them. Because it was going to be my first in-person race weekend for RunDisney, and I find with stuff like that where it's kind of could be considered an adventure of sorts, I love to have research. So I did a lot of searching through people's Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and searching RunDisney to get all this info that I preferred to have going into it, because I'm very much not a spontaneous person. I want to have research so I can understand what I'm doing. And so they were not really emailing at all about anything. And I was with them fundraising for several months, and there was very small contact. There was not very many emails. And I didn't personally love that. I know other people have had great experiences with them. So I hope that, obviously, if you do run with them, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you love it. Me personally, not so much. And so that was for Princess Weekend 2022, which obviously wasn't in person. Now, even before Princess Weekend happened, I decided to look for another charity to possibly run with for springtime, wine and dine, whatever, future race weekends. And I have a lot of friends who are also with Kelsey's Hope Foundation, who would talk about it so highly, would talk about their experience with them during the races, before races, after the races, whatever it was. And I really liked how they would talk about them. I thought that they sounded like a great company, a great charity. They work with children with cancer, which I work with children, so for me that was, a really big thing of seeing who they were helping, who the money was going towards. Obviously, depending on your interests, there are so many different charities that you can find. And so for me, that was a really nice thing to be able to find them so easily. And so because of that, I was able to get their email, find out who I was able to talk with, and I was able to talk with the director about getting signed up for the Wine and Dine 10K. Which, if you want to know about that experience, you can check out my last video about that kerfuffle. I'm putting it lightly, I guess. And so that was just a fun experience of getting to run with Kelsey's Hope for the Wine and Dine. And oh my goodness, it wasn't even Wine and Dine. It was Springtime Surprise. Oh my goodness. I'm getting all mixed up. But, so seeing them in person for both Princess and Springtime Surprise, the amount of support that they were showing towards Kelsey's crew and towards just other runners in general was really special. It was really magical to see Kelsey's crew members out at every race, like finding spots that they could be like along the course to be able to cheer on runners. Like there's even someone on the 5K for Princess that was able to find a spot where they were able to cheer on the runners, which was so awesome. And so just seeing them out there, and like the reputation that Kelsey's crew has is well known in the RunDisney community. It's well known that Kelsey's crew is going to be hospitable, that they're going to be cheering on the other runners, that they, if you're kind of needing, a clap on the back, if you're needing someone to cheer you up, like during the race, if it's not going well, they're going to be there for you. The announcers, have said it before. Carissa Galway said it like, oh, there's Kelsey's crew, like, that they're going to be there for you. So just hearing stuff like that at the races is always very exciting. It feels good to know that you're working with a great company. So that is obviously a great benefit of being with Kelsey's crew. Obviously, there are so many different charities that you can run with that I want you to find what you feel passionate about. Obviously, working with children, knowing that Kelsey's Hope Foundation works with children a good amount of the time is always a great thing to know. If you are passionate about animals or kids or the ecosystem, whatever it is, there are so many charities out there that you can definitely find, whether it's through RunDisney or through other major marathons or through other races. A lot of times there are charity runners and sponsored runners at different events, whatever it may be. So obviously you can run just through RunDisney, sign up on registration day. One of the benefits of running with a charity is you don't have to deal with registration day, which is very nice, especially with the hot mess express that Marathon Weekend registration was. I was very thankful that was something I did not have to deal with at all. I'm not signed up to do Marathon Weekend anyways, but that's not a plan for me to run Marathon Weekend for any of the races. But it's nice to know that with being part of Kelsey's crew, that wasn't something we were going to have to deal with. Once a charity gets their contract signed with RunDisney, they are able to go ahead and release their bids that they have. So I sign up to do 2 so far future race weekends through Kelsey's crew. I'm signed up to do Wine and Dine, the 5K and the 10K for 2022 through Kelsey's crew, and for 2023 Princess Weekend for the 5K and the challenge. So I was able to sign up for Wine and Dine before Wine and Dine registration opened. And that meant that I was then able to sign up my mom for the 5K for Wine and Dine weekend. And I didn't have to worry about also signing myself up. I was able to just focus on one registration, which was nice. And then for Princess, I obviously registration hasn't even opened for it. It's supposed to open, I believe, in July. I think it opens in July. So I was able to, I'm already registered for it. And so I was able to do that even before marathon weekend registration opened, which is just a comforting feeling that I know I'm not going to have to deal with like the masses of Run Disney registration, which can already be complicated and frustrating itself, without having them have issues with registration day. So that's always comforting to know. So that's a big benefit for a lot of charity runners, is knowing that they don't have to worry about registering, as it is for Eastern Standard Time, which is where I'm at. It's 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, which a lot of times, pretty much all the time, that means I'm going to be at work. And I work with kids, so that can be a complicated thing to try and find someone to either watch the kids for me during that, or, some people took that day off or took a long lunch or whatever it was. Obviously, working with kids, there are times where doing stuff like that can be difficult. So I was very thankful to already have been registered for myself for Wine and Dine and not have to worry about registering for Princess, which a lot of times Princess Weekend can also be a crazy registration. Some of the fun things that running with a charity is sometimes they give you like fun little things, which can be just like a fun little added benefit. One thing that I really love, that obviously you can see from the thumbnail, is we got these really cool banners. Like, look how cool they are. So some people ran with them and like during photo pass like would whip it out and like, have it showing. Some people had them when they were spectating, when they were cheering on, so way like like, okay, that person is Kelsey's crew. And so it was just like a cool little thing that they gave this to us during the luncheon, which also was a great benefit to have it be that they were saying like, okay, we want it to be that we get to celebrate y'all and say thank you to the runners. So, you're going to come on this day during this time for this lunch. They also gave us this cute little bag that says Kelsey's Crew, Kelsey's Hope Foundation. They also had like a bunch of different like, different little pamphlets and things in here. And so right now I just keep my gym clothes in there. But it's just like a cute little drawstring bag, and I really enjoy using it. So it's stuff like that it really shows that, your charity that you're running with, like, they do appreciate you, that you are raising this money for them so that way they can help others, that you've decided to, to go with them on this journey to get ready for those Run Disney races. One of the things that can stink, obviously, if you are new to a charity, is they are going to give first priority to people that have run with them before. So if you have never run with a charity, whatever charity it may be, if you email them or send them a DM or however you want to get in contact, calling, whatever it is, they'll put you typically on just like a list being like, okay, this person, MJ wants to run Princess Weekend. And so obviously they already knew that I wanted to do Wine and Dine and Princess Weekend with them. I had already emailed them beforehand. I was already signed up for Wine and Dine before Springtime Surprise. So during Springtime, like, I was able to talk to the directors, talk to the people on the crew, and was able to be like, yeah, I'm really excited to run with them, like, in November. And so that obviously was a nice thing about being able to talk to them about like future races and being able to know like, okay, they know what my face looks like now, like they recognize my name, so I can talk to them, email them, and be like, yes, I want like to be considered for another race weekend. obviously, if you are not currently in contact with them, when you then get in contact with them, your name might be put to the bottom or just somewhere not at the top of the list, as they are going to give top priority typically to those that they know are with them race weekend after race weekend, year after year, as they know that those people are typically like trustworthy and they know that they're going to get those funds raised. Just, which obviously is nice once you get more experience with them, but at first can be kind of difficult to like make sure that you want an in, because obviously with the whole issue of marathon weekend registration, there's a lot of people that were wanting to run Dopey, which was it's a big anniversary year, and so is for marathon weekend. It's a big anniversary year. And so there's a lot of people who want to run it, and it happened to be that it seemed like it sold out very quickly, but it also sold out pretty quickly for the charities as well. So then there's people who are like, okay, well, the charities might be open, but the charities have been sold out for bibs for Marathon Weekend for Dopey Challenge, I know specifically, for already a couple weeks beforehand. So if you weren't already on their emailing list, they weren't going to let you know that they had bibs available. So by the time that registration came around, they were already sold out. So if you weren't already in the know, it wasn't available. At least after registration, there was some charities who did still have availability. But it seemed like there was a lot that were already sold out, that once they got their contract signed, they sent out those things saying, hey, registration for us is open, you can go ahead and sign up for Dopey, and that went really fast. So obviously that can be nice, it can be bad, it depends on how you look at it. Another somewhat bad thing about running through a charity can be considered as like the price point. Obviously it depends on how you go about it. If you are really good at marketing, if you are really good at fundraising, then there's no issue for you. As someone who's not very good with marketing, with necessarily talking about it, it can be a bit of a struggle at times to raise those funds, because RunDisney already is considered a pricier standpoint in the running world compared to like if you did like a local race. It's obviously it's higher, so those registration fees, the charity fees can sometimes also be higher as well. So obviously it depends on how many races you do. If you do the challenges, what race weekend, because sometimes it seems like there's a little bit of price difference between the race weekends. And of course you still have to add on of like hotel rooms and all that stuff. Which, one really fast point, some of the charities do get room blocks. So it could be that, they'll have like a block of rooms at Art of Animation or whatever. So it'll be like however many rooms, and they get like a discounted price, which is nice. So that can be considered as like a benefit. Of course, if you're doing through like DVC or if you live local, you don't need to necessarily worry about that. But yeah, so obviously if you are adding up, it can be considered more expensive to do it through a charity if you are having to pay for it out of pocket. I find that something that I really enjoy doing is doing little raffles. I do currently have this raffle for this Rapunzel Daniel Nicole bag, trying to just, add this in. Technically, it ended yesterday, but if you donate in the next day or two, then obviously I'll add you in for the raffle. It's $5 per entry for the raffle. But yeah, and then, so that's a fun way that I enjoy doing fundraising. There are people who sell things, who make things, who do, different services and be like, okay, well, I'm going to do a car wash, and all the money's going to donate towards the charity, or dog walking, or whatever it is. Like, people find different ways to raise the money without having to do it necessarily out of pocket. It definitely depends on what kind of person you are, on how you find it, easy to raise those funds. So, depending who you are, that can be considered as a plus or minus of doing a charity. RunDisney does not have it year round on their website of their list of charities. There are times where a charity might be with them for one weekend but not for the next, or it might be there one year and then not there for the next. So RunDisney is not going to put it on their website for the race weekend, the charities, until they have those contracts signed. Sometimes they don't even put up the list of charities until after registration has ended. Which is one of the nice things about like having friends that run through those charities, of being in the know. And so, but RunDisney will typically put up a list, and it'll say Kelsey's Hope Foundation, Children's Miracle Network Hospital, Give Kids the World, National Down Syndrome Society, all of those different charities that they work with. There's so many that you can work with. And so they'll put that list up later. And so sometimes you do have to do a little digging, whether it's through the RunDisney website or whether it's through the vast internet, trying to find others that run with them. So those are some benefits, some detriments, I guess, of running with a charity. If you have any other questions about running with a charity, please let me know. I know I wasn't being the most eloquent with everything I was saying, so I do hope that if you have any questions, you can message me comment down below, or you can send me a message, whether it's on here. Can you get messages on here? I don't know. Or you can always DM me on Instagram asking about, more experiences through Kelsey's Crew, or possibly through other foundations, through other charities. If you would like to hear more, once again, comment down below so I can hopefully talk some more about RunDisney, because I really love it. And I know I haven't been at a lot of in-person race weekends. It's definitely something I'm very passionate about, and I hope to just continue with RunDisney and continue with Kelsey's Crew for as long as I possibly can. So I hope you'll have a magical day. I hope that everything is satisfactory. I'm trying to be Disney-ish with this closing, but it's not coming towards me right now. But no matter what, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!